Welcome to the Wichita Eldercare channel, brought to you by Stan Webb, Principal for Dreamcatcher Wealth Management. Today's guest is Fred Hermes, Board Chair for the Alzheimer's Association of Central and Western Kansas.
I'm here with Fred Hermes from the Central and Western Kansas Alzheimer's Association. Welcome, Fred.
Well, thank you, Stan.
Alzheimer's is such a devastating type thing for families to have, or some loved one to come up with and be diagnosed with. What exactly does the Alzheimer's Association do, and then how can you help people?
Well, you're right, Stan. Alzheimer's disease touches really every one of us, and it can be someone you know, it could be a colleague, could be a family member, many different people. But the Western and Central Kansas Alzheimer's Association helps people in many ways, in that there's basically kind of two things that the association is involved in. And one is support to those individuals who are suffering from dementia and to their family members for that, and the other is research and trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. So those are kind of the two main things that the association does on a day-to-day basis.
And I know that any family that's ever been touched by someone with dementia or Alzheimer's, many times they don't know where to go or how to start. If someone thinks they have a loved one that may have Alzheimer's or a form of dementia, what should be some of their first steps?
Well, Stan, I think the most important thing is you want to get with your own physician and start to get some information and get tested. It could be a lot of different things. It might be electrolyte imbalance, or it could actually be some actual dementia. And you need to get that sorted out, because one's acute and one's chronic. And so you need to know, you need to have that information. The other thing is you can call the Alzheimer's Association, and they have an 800 number. It's 800-272-3900. So people can call that number and get connected, get information. The earlier the better, so we can start to support those individuals that need that support.
I know that most people that are affected typically are what would be classified generically as seniors or senior citizens. And here in the Wichita or Central or Western Kansas area, if someone, say, does get an official diagnosis, then how would the association here be able to help them?
Well, there's several different things. We have support groups, we have education, we can get them information about the disease. There's respite care that can be involved. Just a lot of different things that helps that individual or their family members cope with Alzheimer's. And of course, you mentioned, oftentimes we think of seniors with Alzheimer's or dementia, but it's not, although it's more prevalent in seniors, we're really starting to see more and more in people that are in their 40s having Alzheimer's, and that's very devastating to their children, possibly their grandchildren as well. So it really encompasses a lot of different individuals, and all of those have little different needs. So.
Yeah, I know that I've been touched twice. My mother-in-law, she had Alzheimer's, and then one of my best friends got early onset, just like you're talking about, in his 40s. And, it's really devastating to watch because you're so helpless. There's only so many things that you can do. And with the early onset, I was just, really, really surprised, because at that time, I wasn't aware that would be something that would be that way. And this person was one of the smartest, most wittiest, outgoing people in the world, and it was totally life-changing. Yeah. And so it's good to know that there's support out there, but when you say there's support groups, what does that mean? Do they, where do they meet, or how often do they meet, and what kind of, is it just people that have Alzheimer's and their family get together, or is there presentations? What does it mean when there's support groups?
Well, there's several pieces of that. We can have people come into the office and we can support them one-on-one if that's what they need. There's small group support. Part of that is education, not only about the disease, but how do you, if you have a loved one, say it's a spouse or a mother or father, how do you go about providing care to them and at the same time protect yourself so they're not wearing yourself out emotionally and physically. So there's a small group support that we can do, one-on-one support if that's what's needed, education, training. We also provide training to caregivers via that be individual caregivers, family, or in homes, facilities around Wichita and out in central western Kansas area. So there's quite a little bit of training. We have people that are outreach trainers and educators that go out to those various areas to provide support to people.
Okay, and then if someone wanted to get help, what would say be the first step for them, and then how would they go about contacting the association here in Wichita area or central or western Kansas?
Yeah, probably the best thing is you could do one of three things actually. You can call this 1-800 number. It's 1-800-272-3900. You can get on the internet and go to alz.org. Stands for Alzheimer's.org. Or you can come by the office. We're located at 1820 East Central. They're just on the north side of, East Douglas, just on the north side of Douglas, here in Wichita. Beautiful office, and they're open Monday through Friday. And you can certainly stop in there anytime. There's a great group of people who'll be happy to help you.
Okay, and then if there's one story that comes to mind of how you really was able to help a family, how would you describe that experience for the family?
Well, there's so many people that kind of go through my mind. Some of the most memorable, I guess, are individuals that are, in my mind, unique. I'll give you an example. I had a grandfather that was a civil judge, and as you say, very bright and articulate. In fact, I can remember many times playing gin rummy with him, and he taught me how to play pitch and a lot of other things. And he unfortunately come down with Alzheimer's. But what makes it so memorable for me is this individual always maintained that beautiful demeanor of his personality throughout his disease, and he was always so fun to be around. And I think that sometimes things that we lose, that we have difficulties, and it's a very difficult disease. There's no doubt about that. And individuals lose their judgment in a lot of different things. But if we can see through that and see that this is the same beautiful person that has always existed, to me it really eases the pain and makes it a season, not something that is there forever, but simply a season in life that has changed.
Thank you. That's a very, very touching story. I'm glad you shared that with us. Fred, thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Stan.